The fourth file opens where every civilization eventually stood. This file was not written for the living alone. It was written for those crossing beyond them. Did mankind fear death itself, or the thought of entering darkness without a guide? On fragile pages, the dead were given doors, rivers, stars, and a path through the unknown. The page did not remove fear. It gave fear a shape the living could hold. Before the journey began, the living prepared the body and prepared themselves for absence. For many ancient worlds, death was not an ending, but a passage that required words, signs, and memory. A prayer was written not to command the dead, but to keep the living from losing them completely. A ritual was not only for the one who left, it was for those who had to remain. The text was placed beside silence, as if words could walk where hands could not. The dead were given signs: a door, a river, a scale, an eye, a boat, a star. The right words, spoken at the right moment, were believed to carry a soul through darkness. The prayer rose like smoke, visible for a moment, then gone before it could be held. Every ritual stopped at a threshold, where the living could no longer follow. Nothing answered. Yet even the smallest movement could feel like a message. These were not ordinary pages. They were instructions for a journey no living hand could complete. To lose a name was to die again, not in the body, but in memory. Some pages held answers for unseen gates, as if the dead would be questioned before passing through. The words were folded, tied, and placed near the dead, so the path would not be taken alone. The oldest fear was not only to die, but to vanish from every mouth that once knew your name. A name can survive on wood, on parchment, on lips, until the last flame goes out. The living always leave first. What remains are objects, names, and the silence around them. When dust covers a name, it does not erase it at once. It teaches the world to stop saying it. When a ritual is no longer understood, it is easy for the living to call it dangerous. People fear death, but they also fear those who can speak of it without turning away. The ritual was sealed not because it was loud. No seal is complete when the fear inside it still belongs to the living. But behind the rituals of death waited a darker belief, that writing itself could carry harm. A name appears in the smoke, not fully seen, but enough to make the hand hesitate. If death made people whisper, cursed writing made them stop before touching the page. The death file closes, but the names, the smoke, and the silence remain inside the archive. The dead were given words, the living were given smoke, and the archive kept both. If a text could guide the dead, what would happen when people believed a text could harm the living? The fifth file has a name, but the archive lets us see only the edge of it. Death made them fear the silence beyond life. Cursed writing made them fear the page itself. The death file closes, but the names, the smoke, and the silence remain inside the archive. Beyond the fear of death waits another fear, the fear that words themselves can wound. If you wish to open the fifth forbidden file, leave the words, Part 5.